Welcome to GouldFish on Games plays CSI Miami, and we're on to the 5th and final case. So let's get our best Who impression ready, because this is our last chance to do it. So, are you ready? Yeah! And as we can see, we're going to be playing with the main man himself, Horatio Caine. Though, that sounds wrong. We'll be working alongside Horatio Caine, who is still missing his trademark glasses. So is he really Horatio Caine? Ooh, I don't know. But if this is anything like the other CSI games, this final case will wrap up everything else in the game, and might even turn some of the other cases upside down. So let's see what's going to happen, shall we? And I wonder who is going to die in this one. Is it someone we know? Is it someone new? Was it the butler in the pantry? Let's see.
Now for a more high-profile case. Judge Walter Lawford dead in his study. Yelena's already on it, and we need to get processing. No mistakes, not one. I'm joining you on this case myself. Let's get going.
Oh good, old Deadeyes is coming with us on this case. And that judge, that's the judge that we've seen in a couple of cases so far, isn't it? Oh, well, let's see who and what killed him, shall we? And are we ready for our first connecting shot?
The judge believed in capital punishment. Looks like somebody else did too.
Oh, we're in control now. Well, look at him staring at nothing. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the judge. And I see he's still got this absolutely massive desk. That's my stapler. Oh, I can't interact with it. But
Pen's mightier than the sword, but not a gun. Was the judge writing something and got permanently interrupted?
well, let's take it, shall we?
No sign of a struggle.
We got-
Entrance wound.
Yes, I was about to say that. Thank you for interrupting me. And let's get a swab. Is there anything else we can click on?
No
Oh,
bruising.
oh, would you expect to see bruising if he's been shot? Can we do anything with the pens? Oh, we have fingers. Do we... Dusting for print seems a bit pointless. UV. Nothing. Luminol. Nothing. Magnifying glass.
Nothing evident under his nails. Didn't scratch his attacker.
Okay. I guess that's what we need.
Notebook PC. Any data on the hard drive could be our new best friend.
It seems to be like... Is that meant to be a trackball? Because it doesn't look like a trackball. Collect. Yoink. And is that everything on his desk?
A game player, Arvik. Really into it.
Oh, and I swear I didn't click anywhere near that. Oh well. I'm not going to...
Not quite. Something similar.
There we go.
Someone's lucky number.
Is there anything else on the roulette wheel? And nope. Oh.
Look who's the final entry. Our favorite criminal lawyer, Donnie Bronson. Let's take it.
If you tell me, Sue. Anything else around here? I swear that looks... Oh, you can't zoom back. That looked brighter. Is that something? Yes, that is something. Hey! Gotta swab it all.
An empty medication bottle. Not that strange. But an empty medication bottle beside the alcohol could be.
And that... No, that one. And we have...
Fingerprints on an empty bottle of prescription medication.
Giving us lots of clues to go with. Which probably means that it's all bunk. Anything by the fireplace?
The first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. Interesting sentiment for a judge's study, since His Honor was a lawyer himself.
Well, the judge obviously wanted to kill himself. Oh. Hey, that looks like a floppy disk. Not something most people reckon. Why can't I pick it up? I need to identify it. Is that a fingerprint?
You won't be able to dust that for prints. You shouldn't dust for prints here.
Does look like something.
Organic substance. Flesh?
Can I now pick up the...
Not recommended storage for a computer disk. Let's see if the lab can find anything.
Thank you for interrupting me. I was gonna say, why the hell do I need to brush it to pick it up? Have we checked around over here yet? Oh, we have a printer and another stapler. How many staplers does one judge need? Do anything with the printer? Oh, and you can very, very vaguely make out a print there.
A print on a printer. Not unusual, but still need to know whose.
You would think there'd be millions of prints in a house. Like, shouldn't the staplers have prints on and... Well, let's see if the morgue will take him.
Ah, some breathing customers. How can I help you?
Can you recover the body for me?
Team's on its way to fetch it for you.
Yay. Was the judge shot at close range?
Stippling around the entry wound suggests as much. This is a through-and-through wound, no bullet recovered. It'd be helpful to have it, though. In the left, out the right, should still be at the scene.
I guess we're going to have to go back and look for it. Can you determine the time of death?
14 hours ago, more or less.
And let's take a look at the body.
We're a full-service morgue. Go ahead.
See if there's anything new. And it looks like there is absolutely nothing new. Well, I say let's look for this bullet. So it's killed rounds here. So it must be over here somewhere.
This looks like deflection impact. Bullet should have wound up near the bookshelf.
Which bookshelf? That's a bookshelf. That's a bookshelf. Yes, this is... Oh. That looks...
Something embedded here. Bullet travels through and through His Honor's head, strikes the wall, deflects, and hits the bookshelf, embedding itself in this volume.
And time to take all this to the crime lab.
Yes?
Take this.
DNA's amplified and graphed. What are you waiting for? Computer's got it.
Take this.
Print's been scanned. It's on the computer.
And this.
Set up a special link on the computer for that.
And this.
Scan that print, and the computer's got it.
And this.
The organic substance is human flesh, all right. Burned. but we can still get DNA. Computer's on it.
Come on, take this as well.
Prints in the computer. Hey, don't mention it.
Can you do anything with this?
I see what you see. Last appointment in this book is Donnie Bronson.
And pen.
Can't come up with anything else to do on that.
Have a laptop.
Hard drive on the computer was encrypted. Can't crack it without reference data from another source.
And the medicine bottle.
Liquid painkiller looks like. Might get enough residue to run an analysis. It's in the computer.
Computer has everything. Apart from this floppy disk. What can you tell?
Sorry, disk's pretty tightly encrypted. Maybe with some related data to cross-reference we could get somewhere. But with a drive and a disk to cross-reference, we're good to go. Check the computer for a cryptogram link and try deciphering the disk data.
And the bullet.
Bullet's banged up, but determining caliber's still a possibility. Check against other known or collected samples in the microscope.
Right, let's do the fingerprints first, shall we? Searching. Searching. Donk. Looks different. Looks different. This looks very low resolution.
There might be one in this group that makes a match.
I think it might be this one.
Ron Preston's prints on the roulette wheel?
Oh, we know all about him, don't we? Alright, let's try the next one. Searching, 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 searching. Lots and lots of searching. Nope. Is that...
Interpreting evidence isn't guesswork. Make sure you look close for subtle differences before you ask me to double-check your work.
Except you add in subtle differences to make it not look identical. So, screw you. Maybe?
Well, well. Donnie Bronson's digits. Interesting. On file for contempt of court. Sticking up for his client's rights, no doubt.
And the last one. Nope. Maybe? No.
Well, well. Donnie Bronson's digits. Interesting. On file for contempt of court. Sticking up for his client's rights, no doubt.
Only having one voice sample, no doubt. Right, well, we've got a couple of DNA samples. Searching, searching. Why am I even bothering to look at the blood for the judge? We already know who it is. Different. Different. Looking similar. Nope, different. Different.
I'm not sure any of these match.
Neither do I. Let's see if this one matches. That's different. 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 Oh, ooh, that might be a match.
Louis Stanford. DNA must have been cataloged during military service.
And now we have special links. Let's see what the stain is.
Scotch whiskey.
And the bottle. Just some chemical, no comment. Okay. And now the disc. It's gonna be a word puzzle, isn't it? Oh, it's a word puzzle. Oy, I hate word puzzles. As we all know. Right, let's try I. Always a good one to start with. In. I something 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 something. Yeah, that doesn't help. um. Let's pick a word at random that will fit, which is my. I something something my something 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 Oni any don't we know, does Donny fit in there? It looks like it. Yeah, okay. I hate word puzzles so much. Is that when? Nope. That's not right at all. We've got O's. Bean. That's probably Bronson, I guess. Bronson? I can't remember. Let's... something my suspicions. I also have my suspicions. Famous lawyer Donnie Bronson. That's famous lawyer Donnie Bronson has been also involved in jury tampering.
Nice job deciphering this. Interesting message. I can think of at least a few people who would want this destroyed.
I would love this destroyed. I'd love this puzzle destroyed. I hate word puzzles. And I think we've done everything. So we've got some people that we need to talk to.
Can I help you out in this case?
Wow, we've got a lot of things here. So where can I find Donnie Bronson?
I called his office. He's out at everybody's favorite country club, the Palm Glen.
Oh, it's that location again. Are we going to reuse previous sets, or are they going to make something new? I still want to know how she manages to use her mouse with it sideways and pointing inward. That's a weird hand sort of orientation. So, who is Louis Stanford?
He's a ghost. But I don't mean he hunts houses. He's a writer whose specialty is helping celebs write biographies. He also operates as an agent for other authors.
And have you uncovered anything about this case? Well, that's a different one to ask.
Brace yourself. Troy Sullivan is off on an ego trip. First, he told the newspapers that the judge was murdered, then he took credit for orchestrating the crime. Unlikely as that seems, he did know about the murder somehow. A head case? Probably. But in this case, the next head we should talk to.
That's a long about way of saying stuff. Is Ron Preston still being held for his trial?
I'll check. Well, no. Sprung a week ago. No murder weapon. DA wants to build a stronger case. I don't have a current address. You'll have to ask around.
Let's see if we can actually talk to some of those people. Prisoner interview, Troy Sullivan.
All right. We'll get Delco to conduct the interview.
You know, this is strictly voluntary on my part. Notice I haven't asked for an attorney to be present. I stand behind my achievements. I'm proud to share them with you, but only to a point. You need to do a little work. Do you have any ideas, Mr. Delco, on how I accomplished the judge's killing?
How'd you even know he was dead?
You disappoint me, Mr. Delco. I expected respect. Instead, your churlish behavior demeans not only myself, but this entire unique endeavor. Henceforth, I speak only with your partner.
I doubt that, but you claim to have killed the judge.
It was Troy Sullivan in the study with a pipe. Do you really expect me to do all of your work for you?
It would make for a faster game. What was supposedly your motive to kill the judge?
Respect and renown. What else is left for me but credit where credit is due? Fame, infamy, if you will. I'm sentenced for life, you fool. What more can you do to me? Give me life plus 99 years of lethal injection? Have at me. But the world will know that even from within a jail cell, I can strike.
And you do know life doesn't mean until you die. It normally is like a high number of years, like 20, 30 or something. So they can give you multiple life sentences which will carry until you die, if that makes any sense. Or at least here, I believe that's true, but hey, I'm guessing these writers knew much about law as anyone else. So are you claiming to have killed the judge by yourself?
I'm claiming nothing but responsibility. You need to put the puzzle pieces together yourself. My job is murder. Yours is solving it.
Sharp guy like you must be popular. You had any visitors lately?
The game begins to bore me. I deserve players of equal mettle to my own, and you are both inferior specimens. I prefer the company of gray walls and my own gray matter. You'll know when I have something to tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. Can we check on Troy Sullivan's visitor records for the last 3 days?
Let's look at the prison's visitor logs. Well, nobody. Not a visitor in weeks. Not even his legal counsel. And only one single phone call to that one reporter at the newspaper.
Let's go to Palm Glen. Oh, no transition, no establishing shots. Is this CSI Miami or not? And there's a green sort of glow around him. Look, he wasn't meant to be in this scene, was he? So let's talk to the
Hate to
douche.
intrude on your downtime, Donnie, but we need to ask you about Judge Lawford's death.
Hey, I'm an officer of the court. Anything to help the greatest CSIs in the South. Aren't we on the same team?
Not exactly, Donnie. We collect evidence. You look for loopholes.
Ouch. But don't expect me to be adversarial, Horatio. I'm perfectly up for answering your questions. My lawyer's present, after all. And none of that fool for a client talk, guys, doesn't pertain to Donnie B.
No, anyone who talks about themselves in the third person and calls himself Donnie B is clearly insane. So, have you been to visit the judge recently?
Yeah, I was over there having a look at that so-called memoir he was writing. The judge had an ego bigger than, well, mine. Oh, I let him have it all right. In words. Nothing less, nothing more.
What were you fighting with Judge Lawford about?
Hey, who said anything about fighting? We were two attorneys having a discussion. That's par for the course. And I don't mean Palm Glen. The old boy wanted me to sign off on this outrageous manuscript of his, for legal purposes. But he refused to show me the sections that applied to me. I told him, if there's libel against me in that book, Walter, your only defense will be the truth. I won't give you a free ride.
Was Judge Lawford alive when you left his home?
Yeah, and breathing fire and brimstone as always. I didn't touch the old reprobate. What the hell would I have to gain by killing Walter?
How did your fingerprints end up on the medicine bottle?
Well, you see, Walter was sitting at his desk typing, and he asked me to hand him his bottle of meds. Why wouldn't I?
Because you usually don't do anything unless you charge a lot of money for it. So why were your fingerprints also on the printer?
Hey, the old boy was busy typing. He asked me if I could turn the printer on for him. Why not?
And what was he writing?
I didn't know it at first, but it was that stupid release he wanted me to sign.
And do you have an alibi for the time of death?
At 9 o'clock, I was right here at the Glen. That hack, Louis Stanford, was here. He'll confirm it. You know, I want to be cooperative, but this is really starting to drift over the line.
What line? Tell us the line and we'll know what we're going for. And have you seen Ron Preston here at Palm Glen?
Not lately, but I have seen him here at times. You know who would know? Ty.
That should do it for now.
I guess it's time to talk to Ty.
Spare a moment, Ty?
Hey, Miami's finest. Here for pleasure finally?
Not exactly.
Should have figured you were here because of his honor. Shame. Word gets around quick in our little Palm Glen soap opera world.
So fast I swear you break the laws of physics. But never mind. Who would want the judge dead?
Hell, not me. His honor always paid for the drinks. Booze poured like water, and every damn drop Judge Walter Lawford paid for.
And have you seen Ron Preston recently?
Since he used his get-out-of-jail-free card, you mean? Can't say I have. But if he shows, you'll be the first to know. Or you will be, if you check back.
And heard any news about Troy Sullivan?
Well, rumor has it that Heather Cole has been trying to convince the authorities at the prison it had nothing to do with the murder of the judge. I don't know how she could possibly know that, but I guess that is what you CSI guys get paid to do, right? Maybe you should talk to her, too.
Did. And what's the word around the club?
Lately? Nothing really.
So, what we got to talk to someone
What do you need?
Prisoner interview, Heather Cole.
Good enough now. I can make that happen. We'll get Callie to conduct the interview.
Because she happened to do
I'm
it
told
earlier.
you want to help. Most murderers aren't so civic-minded.
Well, and isn't it nice to see Miami-Dade's finest again? I try to give you Keystone Comps a little guidance, and this is the thanks I get?
Because you just need to render the scene out once, and you just got to put that model in, and trying to add a different CSI in would be too much effort. And how would you know about Troy Sullivan?
We have TV in here, you know. And when I see taking credit for the judge's murder, I just had to get the word out that he's full of himself, among other things. And now you're here, aren't you? Ask away.
This is going to be the rest of the case, isn't it? Just talking to the random people from the previous episodes and somehow them all saying they did it or something. So, who is the murderer?
Isn't that a little on the nose? Don't you have any pride or sporting blood?
Nope.
Tell you what, I have a little list for you. It consists of what might uncharitably be called demands, and I'll call them, you'll like this, bullet points. Deal with them, and I'll hand you the killer on a big old silver platter.
A stunt to get your sentence reduced. Should have known.
It's not a damn stunt. I do know who killed his honor. I know how he died and why.
No deal. Tell us what you know, we'll put in a good word for you.
Well, then, you'll just have to trust your own skills to find the killer. Meaning, you never will.
Well, you just very
I'll
quickly...
talk to you when the time's right.
Well, if you don't interrupt us, you very quickly gave yourself up, so... I don't think we're going to be too difficult here. Let's see if Yelena has any information. No. Look how casually he's just sort of lying, sort of propping himself there. Like trying to hide from everyone else in the scene, but doing a terrible job too. And look! He actually has his glasses! This might be the only scene he has his glasses. I thought they forgot about them completely. Oh, it's like everything's finally starting to come together. What's the word about the club?
You should go and talk to Denise Diamond. Apparently she has confessed who the real murderer is. She thinks that she had something to do with the death of the judge and feels guilty about knowing who the culprit is. I must admit, the excitement at the club has been at an all-time high since all these cons are announcing that they know who the real killer is. I'm thinking about taking bets on which one is telling the truth.
Probably none of them. And how is it he hears all this, but we don't? We have to keep going to him to ask this information.
Nothing else right now.
Alright,
Hey, what do you need?
let's get another interview.
You've got enough now. I can make that happen.
Ms. Diamond, thanks for your cooperation.
I agreed to talk to you. Whether or not I cooperate, that remains to be seen.
Did you know who... Did you know Judge Walter Lawford...
I did know him, and now I know he's dead. This is a bad thing. Why?
How did you know the judge?
I met him through my father-in-law, and we got to know each other. Seemed like a nice old fella at first. Right. But the real skinny, I blame myself for where this wound up.
And why is that?
I agreed not to publish my autobiography until after the old boy had departed this wicked world. Only I find out he was writing his own tell-all. Sneaky old snake.
Why agree not to publish while the judge was still breathing?
The judge was tight with my sleazoid father-in-law. He threatened to make my life miserable if I revealed Roy's dark side in print. And of course, with his connections, his honor could make my stay in jail even more unpleasant.
And how would that be more unpleasant?
Are you kidding? A pillar of the community, tied into every fat cat and crooked politician in town? From the high-up strings he could pull, to greasing the legal wheels to increase my sentence, even just encouraging the guards to make my stay a tough one. What couldn't the judge do to make this living hell hotter?
And, who did you tell this to?
Louis Stanford. That greedy bloodsucker was angling to help me on my book. Give it a professional gloss, he said, and then represent it as an agent. Plus, he encouraged me to go ahead with the project, 'cause old Walter wouldn't be around forever. I didn't figure Stanford meant that he'd kill the old villain. Just that, you know, the judge was old and would pass away soon enough.
And when was the last time Louis visited you?
Haven't seen that lizard in days. And I don't care to. If he isn't home, he could be in hell as far as I care.
I had Sanford's home and office checked. No sign of him.
I believe that's your problem then, not mine. Haven't you bothered me enough?
Haven't you gotten a voice coach yet? Oh, nothing new here. Are we going back to the club again? Do you know anything about the disappearance of Louis Stanford?
Disappearance? Hey, I wouldn't touch that sleazeball with a pair of those latex gloves. He is one slimy character.
You've been drinking that one cup of coffee for ages. Have you had any dealings at all with Louis Stanford?
Yeah, I spoke with him. Stanford was the judge's literary agent. I figured maybe I could talk him into a sneak peek at that manuscript. I mean, I wasn't worried or anything, but I was curious about what kind of dirt old Walter thought he had on me.
Time to scare up Stanford. Let's get Yelena's help.
Well, let's finish talking to him first, shall we? Did anything seem strange when you went to visit Judge Lawford?
Well, he was always what they used to call a hail fellow well met. A smooth talker with an ornery edge, and yet you'd always feel he was interested in you. Only that last visit, he was on the cranky side, and kind of pale around the gills. Said himself he felt under the weather.
That should do it for now.
Let's see if Ty has anything to say. What's the word about the club?
Lately? Nothing really.
Well, let's go back to Yelena.
Can I help you out in this case?
Any progress on Louis Stanford's APB?
Do you believe in ghosts? You should. Stanford is haunting our house. Showed up looking to talk to the CSIs on a case. In the interview room now, shall we?
Welcome to Miami-Dade CSI, Mr. Stanford.
Where have you been hiding?
Hiding? I haven't been hiding anywhere. I came here for help. I was kidnapped. And I risked my life escaping. I mean, you people have to protect me.
Really? So who abducted you?
That lousy drug dealer, Ron Preston. I mean, can't you people keep the real criminals in this town locked up?
Oh, we will. You saw... What? That seems a bit of a odd question. You saw Ron kill the judge?
I just walked into the judge's study and saw that sleazeball Preston with his gun to the judge's head, and he shot him. It was terrible, horrible. Preston whirled and came at me, and he's a big man, you know. He just overpowered me, and the next thing I knew, he was stuffing me into the trunk of his car, and he drove me off somewhere.
What are you doing at the judge's house?
Lately, I've been in and out of the judge's home, probably every day for 2 months. I'm his literary agent, and he was working on an incredible property, a tell-all that'll make more than a few big shots in this town feel the Miami heat.
And why was your DNA on a burnt disc?
It was probably a disc of the judge's book. We've been trading discs back and forth while I rewrite and expand his drafts. I could have easily touched any number of discs in his study, and I did take a nasty gash on my forefinger and thumb the other day.
Where were you at 9 o'clock last night?
In the trunk of a damn car! I told you that low-life drug pusher Preston grabbed me. I guess selling junk wasn't enough. He had to cross the line into murder. The man is a sociopath. You can't believe a word he says.
You keep calling him a drug dealer even though he's killed someone, and we jumped to the conclusion that he killed someone. It feels like there's, scenes being cut. Donnie Bronson says that you were at the Palm Glen Country Club with him.
He's a damn liar. I mean, the Palm Glen is a hangout of his, all right. Bronson used to come on to that slut Heather Cole out there, trying to catch her between affairs, I'd wager.
Donnie says he and Lewis were at the club, while Lewis claims he was locked in a trunk. Maybe Ty can untie this discrepancy.
Oh, bet you were proud of that one. Can you tell us more about your abduction?
Preston drove quite a while, maybe half an hour. Shortly before we stopped, I heard cheering, barking dogs, and muffled speech over a PA system. Then a bit later, motor sound, boats, and people talking and laughing. Finally, he pulled over. When he opened the trunk, I could see we were in a secluded place, lots of trees and bushes. I knew he was going to kill me, so I jumped at him. He hadn't bound me or anything, must have thought I was a damn pushover. Anyway, I knocked him down and started running and soon found myself at the Olympic overpass. I got my bearings and came straight here. On foot.
Well, quite a story, Mr. Stanford. But then, you are a writer.
And, why would Denise Diamond suggest that you killed Judge Lawford?
Because she's a greedy little self-serving tart? Just a guess. I mean, really, why would I harm the judge? I stood to make a fortune from our book together. I was in for 50% for co-writing and agenting.
And what was the manuscript about?
The manuscript was His Honor's own reflections on his long and distinguished career here in Miami. But with the gloves off. Consider the title. The Price of Crime. How the Court Sell Justice to the Highest Bidder. He was naming names and implicating a lot of respectable people in the justice system and law enforcement.
And whose names appeared in the manuscript?
Frankly, the judge kept that from me. He used pseudonyms in his early drafts, though I could make educated guesses. We were in the final stage, though, and yesterday the draft he was preparing was to contain all the juice and all the dirt.
And we're finished. Let's go back to the country club. What does he have to say? Have you been spending time with Heather Cole?
Well, of course. I'm her attorney. And don't think I'm going to betray any attorney-client confidentiality just to cover my own behind.
Have you ever paid off a jury to vote a certain way?
All right, now you've done it. You crossed the line. I cooperate, I do what any good officer of the court would, and try to give you the benefit of my... Damn, back off.
Well, according to a document we recovered, you've bribed and tampered with juries.
I'm not gonna dignify that insult with a response.
That should do it for now.
And Ty, what do you have to say? Were Lewis and Donnie here about 9 o'clock last night?
That's a hard one. See, a couple buds of mine were from the Florida Open Tour last night, and let's just say we spent more than our share of time on the 19th hole.
Do you know what Lewis and Donnie were meeting about?
Whoa, I don't even remember seeing them. Might have been here. Think they were. Maybe over at His Honor's table.
The judge has a regular table.
Kinda, sorta. Not reserved or anything. Older guy like him would roll in early and kinda claim his territory. That's where he'd always hold court. But come to think of it, His Honor hadn't been around much lately. I'd say not since the iron doors closed on Heather Cole. Looking back, I think he was getting caught up in the old Heather vibe. Probably a father and daughter kind of deal, though with no blood involved. It ain't incest, right? Poor old boy was probably bummed his pretty little companion got shipped to the concrete bunker.
There seems to be a lot of incest or near incest or sort of underage. This just story. Heather Cole spent some time with Judge Lawford.
Sure, they were way chummy.
What exactly did Heather and Judge do here together?
They'd mostly go through half the scotch in the joint. You know, not every female has the kind of appreciation for scotch that Heather had. Or tolerance either.
And what's the word around the club?
I was just talking to Ron Preston a short while ago. He seemed a little edgy and preoccupied. Said he was heading to the brewery.
Well,
I think we better drop by Mr. Preston's microbrewery with a warrant.
I was going to say that. So let's get
What do you need?
Well, first, are there any dog tracks near the Olympic overpass?
Let's check. Only one, but an interesting sidebar. That's not far from the Cole homestead. Maybe a mile?
Heather Cole's address is in play. Too convenient.
Well, can we do anything about it? Location. Preston Microbrewery.
You got your warrant. And if you find the sporty Mr. Preston, bring him in for questioning.
Bonk. Let's to the microbrewery. Oh, we have an establishing shot with the first one as well, actually. I think we've seen this one before. What sort of animation is that? Oh God. Alright, let's talk to him.
Wow, you kids look serious. Listen, no hard feelings. You didn't have a case, I'm an innocent man. Take a seat, let's keep it civilized.
Oh, we'll sit and be civilized, Mr. Preston. Just not here. We're taking you in for questioning.
I think I've answered enough of your questions, Kane.
No problem. Mr. Speedle will step in. Remember him?
It's Mr. Slow and can't be bothered even phoning in his work. Well, why did we find your fingerprints at Judge Lawford's home?
Well, why wouldn't you have? We were country club buddies. We got together now and then. Lively old boy.
What did you and the judge do together? Oh, please don't answer that.
Talk sports mostly. Occasional round the golf. But he gave me some informal legal advice time to time.
And why did you shoot the judge in the head?
What? The old boy's dead? First I heard of it, I swear to God.
Why did you take Louis Stanford hostage?
Say what? You mean the ghostwriter guy? I know who he is, but I never met him, let alone... Are you high?
Funny. He claims that you know him quite well. Well enough to have abducted him, which would imply that you've also met.
Look, he can say whatever he wants. I assure you that I've never met the guy. Scout's honor. Come back when you have a reasonable question.
Now, let's see if we can actually do anything at the microbrewery. Or if it was literally just to locate... Oh, no. That looks like...
Anyone remember seeing our friend Ron smoke a cigar?
Is that it? Is that literally it? Just a single solitary cigar? I assume so. Let's see if we can get any DNA or anything off it.
What's up?
Take that.
Amplified and graphed that DNA, scanned it into the computer already. Go for it.
Well, let's see if it is the judges. I think it might be.
Great. We've got a positive match here.
I think we missed it. Yes, we did. No. Ooh.
9 mil. Nice match.
So, do I think it's fine. Yeah. So let's go talk to...
Hey, what do you need?
Can we reopen?
Just because there happens to be a dog track near the coal house isn't enough. There are other dog tracks in town, and kennels too. You want a warrant? I need more corroborating reasons.
Corroborating reasons. Continue. Ron Preston.
Let's invite him back.
Come back when you have a reasonable question.
Is Ty gonna give us anything more? You?
Nothing else right now.
Ty? What's the word about the club?
Lately? Nothing really.
Okay, I guess we need to...
What do you need?
Talk to the other people. Why does Ron claim he has no idea who you are?
I didn't say we'd ever met. I said I saw him kill the judge. He's a prominent guy, and he may or may not have known who I was other than a witness to the murder he committed. That's when he stuffed me in that car trunk. I'm trying to cooperate, but don't bother me now.
What? Let's continue prisoner interviews.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Have you been spending some time with Donnie Bronson?
Let me get this straight. You're asking me if I've spent time with my attorney? I'm gonna have to say yes on that one, to the extent I spend time with anybody while I'm in lockup.
Ron Preston's our accused kidnapper. Schilling claims he heard sounds from a dog track, and Heather Cole happens to live near one. Let's share this with Yelena.
What? But, is Donnie Bronson who you think killed the judge?
Let me answer that with another question. Are you ready to meet my demands yet? But regardless, I will say that, in the abstract at least, I would hardly be inclined to incriminate the man who's trying to get me out of here.
Could Ron Preston be hanging out at your house?
How should I know if Ron was at my house? Be glad to check for you, if you want to let me out of the cell I've been in day and night. I'll talk to you when the time's right.
Can you reopen the warrant on the Cole home?
A racetrack near the home of Heather Cole who claims to know who killed the judge? You got your warrant.
I swear there is nothing new, no new information there. This game, man.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Haven't you bothered me enough?
Nope. And the other one.
Let's invite him back.
Was Ron Preston your tool for killing the judge?
That's two questions, really. Yes, Ron Preston is a tool, but did I encourage him to kill the judge? I hate to encourage you people, but frankly, you're right. Though in all honesty and humility, doing such didn't tax my abilities. Ron Preston was more than eager to dispose of his honor.
What reason would Ron have for killing the judge?
The underlying assumption of your question is incorrect. You imply that killing the judge was a bad thing. And if you really knew what kind of vile human Lawford was, you'd be arranging a testimonial dinner for his killers.
Did you know the judge at a personal level?
Really? Do I have to do all your thinking for you? Think, people! A, I have worked as a criminal psychologist and accordingly have many acquaintances in the Miami justice system. And B, the judge, for all his malfeasance, possessed a formidable intellect, which of course drew the two of us together since he was one of the few people in this sun-bleached corpse of a city on my intellectual level. Furthermore, the judge was a most industrious man, perhaps a touch less so now. Death does tend to slow one down.
Why do you refer the judge as industrious?
The judge made a point of knowing who was doing what to whom in this town. He had a keen sense of justice, and when he thought someone was getting away with something, well, let's just say, I didn't discover the sins of Ella Sinclair on my own steam. Walter Lawford supplied the evidence that led me to take independent action. Only upon reflection, I can see my action wasn't quite so independent. So, following the judge's own Machiavellian example, I unleashed Ron on his honor. You'll know when I have something to tell you.
So are they all going to claim that the judge somehow tricked them into killing their respective people? Well, let's go to the Cole home, I guess. Establishing shots. And it's the same deck, but we now have whiskey bottle. And we have a fingerprint. Big old fucking fingerprint.
Fingerprints? Think the judge would mind us taking a sample from him?
And oh, letters. Red 30. Is there any fingerprints on this? Which one is it? Magnetic powder.
Try something else. Wrong surface to try dusting. Nothing here.
Well, let's just take it. Yoink. I think that might be it. And yep, I think that might be it. To the lab.
Hey,
Whiskey bottle.
scan that print, and the computer's got it.
And this note.
A color, a number. Do you know what it's referring to? Puts you one up on me.
And the whiskey bottle.
Sorry, gang, but no thanks. I'm on duty.
Very funny, Valera. Now, what can you tell us about it?
Well, if this is proof of a murder, it's 90 proof. Cromartie Scotch. 30-year-old, fine, single malt Scotch whiskey. Very smooth and very expensive.
And fingerprints. Searching. Different. That's different. Oh. Nope.
I'm not sure any of these match.
Neither do I. Let's see if we can get prints.
What now?
Can you lift his fingerprints for us?
We're a full-service morgue. Go ahead.
Back to the lab.
What's up?
I'm guessing I need to give the fingerprints
Prints
to
in
her.
the computer. Hey, don't mention it.
You mention it enough that I think you do want us to mention it. Doink, doink. Oh. He was at her home. At her home? Let's talk to...
Can I help you out in this case?
Heather Cole.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Is it Heather Cole? I think so. Yeah. Where do you find evidence that the judge was at your home?
A girl needs a shoulder to cry on every now and then, and Walter's shoulder was one of them. And yes, I knew Walter had a lot of, well, questionable acquaintances, but I didn't know any of them. So go bother one of your other suspects and stay out of my affairs, so to speak.
Was Walter aware that your husband was cheating on you?
The judge, Walter, he was the one who told me my husband strayed.
Did Judge Lordford convince you to kill your husband?
You'll have to make up your own mind on that one, 'cause you won't get it out of me.
That should do it for now.
Let's invite him back.
You'll know when I have something to tell you.
No, we talked to him.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Haven't you bothered me enough?
Seems like it.
Nothing else right now.
Is there anything new?
Lately? Nothing really.
Hey, what do you need? Let's invite him back.
Oh, wait. Why did you let Troy Sullivan manipulate you into... Why did you kill the judge?
What part of I didn't do it don't you understand? I didn't do it.
So why does everyone else say that you were involved?
Maybe because I wanted to, because I was hoping to, even planning to. You see, Troy and I were in lockup together. We'd known each other before. He'd been my psychologist. You people are aware of my drug problem. I was detoxing the hard way, really at loose ends, and I was convinced the judge had manipulated me into committing murder. And I wanted the SOB dead. I shared my outrage with my supposed friend, my faithful confidant, Troy Sullivan, who helped me conceive a plan to sneak into the judge's home and carry out a death sentence. It was planned to the very day, so that I would commit the crime and Troy would confess to it, before anyone even realized the old buzzer was dead.
So it's just a coincidence that he was killed on the day you planned?
But the judge wasn't. I was to kill Lawford on the 13th. You know, Friday the 13th, not the 12th. Where's the poetry in that? And Troy didn't start bragging and spouting off about the murder till the 13th. Check if you want. Day after the judge bought it.
So you went to the judge's house with intent to kill him?
No, actually. I was going to tell Lawford about Troy wanting him dead, in hopes the judge would take me out of that tell-all book he was writing. And anyway, the guy was old. His clock didn't have many ticks left. Meaner to let him live in a way. Plus, I wouldn't have gone to see the judge at all if he hadn't have sent me this weird note. I was intrigued, frankly, and wanted to know what the hell he meant by it.
Ooh, what's this weird note?
You gotta understand, to the judge, life was one big game. And even now I have this weird feeling I'm just his damn pawn. As for the note, all it said was Black 17. Take it. It's all yours.
Ooh, this is roulette wheel, isn't it? This is roulette wheel. Oh, I think we need more of these notes. Red 30.
That didn't do anything. Gotta be more to it.
Red 30.
That didn't do anything. Gotta be more to it.
Yeah, we know. Red 30. Black 17. I think we need to talk to the others.
Can I help you out in this case?
Denise Diamond.
Let's invite him back.
Haven't you bothered me enough?
Come on.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
What day was the judge murdered?
The 13th. I can even tell you the exact time. 6:30 p.m. What other facts have eluded you?
Actually, that fact eluded you. Date and time are both wrong. Not that Ron Preston isn't still a suspect.
You'll know when I have something to tell you.
Lewis?
Let's invite him back.
I'm trying to cooperate, but don't bother me now.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Come back when you have a reasonable question.
Donnie?
Nothing else right now.
Ty?
Lately? Nothing really.
The microbrewery? Is there a note hidden in here somewhere? So that's what it's all about, isn't it? These notes. If it is here, I can't see it, so do we need to use the flashlight? I guess not. Good old magnifying glass. Are you helpful? I guess not. Not really used this one all that often in this game, have we?
Hey,
We gave it to
nothing
her.
new to report.
Do we have... Nope. I guess that means we've got everything there. There might be more here. Oh wait, actually there's a
Kinda
gun.
gives Hit the Deck a whole new slant.
How did I miss that?
You know, I've seen better hiding places for a murder weapon.
Yeah. Is there any...
Apparent skin sliver pinched here. Lab will tell.
Right, to the lab. How did I miss that?
Yes?
I'm going blind, obviously.
DNA scanned and waiting in the computer for you.
And come on, there we go.
9 mil. We'll run the serial number, see if there's a rightful owner. I've also had the firearms examiner fire off a round to make a ballistics comparison. We'll let you compare it to other samples.
I guess that means it's already...
Nothing else for you on that.
And let's see if we can match DNA.
The DNA is Stanford's? How did a piece of Stanford's skin get on the gun? The gun the Ghost Rider says Preston used to kill the judge.
Let's... And we've got... See who owns the gun.
The judge's gun? Was our jurist taken down by his own gavel?
But does it match? Let's see. There could be a match.
Strong striation similarity between these two bullet samples. Gun and bullet, same caliber, matching striations. Positive match between the bookshelf bullet and the gun under the Cole's deck.
Let's... there might be more there as well. Let's talk to people, I guess.
What do you need?
Continue... Lewis Stanford.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Why do you find your DNA on the gun?
Well, I don't think you did. In fact, I know you didn't, because I never touched a gun in my life. Even in the military, I was stuck in communications.
Lewis, you can either lie and go down for murder, or tell the truth, and maybe write yourself a happy ending.
Go down from... You can't put me in prison. I'm 90 pounds dripping wet. I'd be ravaged.
Oh.
I'll be somebody's little jailhouse plaything.
You may come up with some exciting new story ideas.
Look, I didn't kill him. I really didn't. But I did shoot him. You see, when I came into the judge's study, Lawford was already slumped at his desk. When I saw the suicide note, I knew it would undermine book sales disastrously. A tell-all memoir by an unstable old coot who took his own life? Who would buy that? And then it came to me. A murdered author slain to avoid the truth from coming out, and then for the book to be published and the explosive truth to come out anyway. Well, I flew into action, tossed the suicide note into the fireplace, tried to grab the computer disk from it, but it was hot as hell, and I dropped it. Thing was mostly destroyed anyway. And I took the judge's gun from the desk drawer and shot him in the head. Is it a crime to kill a corpse?
Abuse of a corpse is illegal in Florida, Lewis, but we'll consider those charges after our investigation is complete.
Why would you assume that it was suicide?
Why did I assume it was a suicide? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the suicide note? After I shot the judge with his own gun and disposed of the note in the fireplace, I drove out to Heather Cole's to conceal the gun. I knew Donnie Bronson was house-sitting out there. I was never kidnapped, but I made up the dog track soundtrack to implicate other people. Donnie, Preston, even Heather. Anybody but me.
And why would you want to fake a murder?
Sales would have been devastated by the judge stopping his own clock. Look, when you write an expose accusing all sorts of folks of doing mean, evil, nasty things, you damn well better have your own head screwed on straight. Suicide is a screwball's way out. Who wants to buy a book by a lunatic?
And Donnie Bronson's been taking care of the Cole house?
Donnie's had the hots for Heather for a long time. She has a trampy charm, I suppose. And she's been coming on to him like she's dying of thirst and he's sparkling water. I warned Donnie about getting involved with a woman in prison. He said not to worry. She wouldn't be inside much longer. I'm trying to cooperate, but don't bother me now.
Well, I think it's time to talk to Donnie again. Have you been spending time at Heather Cole's house?
Even an officer of the court like me has to draw the line at certain invasions of privacy. You'll need a more formal channel to get any more information out of this good citizen.
That should do it for now.
Oh, does Ty know anything? What's the word about the club?
Lately? Nothing really.
Well, let's see if Alex can tell us if the judge was already
Any
dead.
way I can help?
Is there a chance the judge was dead before he was shot?
That is possible. Judging by the exit wound, the murder bullet is a .38 caliber or maybe a 9mm. If you can find that, I could compare it against the wounds and blood loss and give you a real answer.
Don't we have the bullet? I expected more. See more here. In theory. Oh, we've got a shoe print.
You're close. Try something similar.
Oh, we've got everything there now. Still something as a study though. We collect all of his blood.
Hey.
I have a shoe print.
Hey, first footprint of the day. They often lead in some interesting direction or another.
What now? We're a full-service morgue. Go ahead.
Yes?
Oh, no, that's... Nope. 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 Possible.
There might be one in this group that makes a match.
Yeah, it'll be this one then.
Size 10, Judge's brand of loafer. Let's confirm his honor's shoe size.
Morgue.
Any way I can help?
What's the Judge Lawford's shoe size?
Just finished taking measurements. The judge is a perfect size 10.
I think we should see if Alex can provide any insights.
Can you tell us if the judge was dead before he was shot?
With a 9mm bullet based upon blood loss, we have a strong possibility the judge was dead prior to being shot. Best guess? 2 hours before.
How else could the judge have died?
Asphyxiation, poisoning, natural causes, a long list. A chemical analysis of his blood should identify anything strange.
What should we be looking for in his blood?
Well, I got to know the judge much, much better while you were gone. You see, he was dying, sitting right on the edge of the abyss in last stages of terminal cancer. Enough of that stirred in his coffee, his body just shut itself down with minimal pain. The judge's records say he was on a potent cancer drug to reduce his symptoms. Look for oxycodone hydrochloride.
Okay, I think we've found something that
What's
sounds
up?
similar to that, but have this.
Check the computer. I've set up a special search link for you. No problem.
Special search link.
When we filter the search by oxycodone hydrochloride, we get a match. Enough concentration to kill. Donnie could have overdosed the judge with his honor's own meds. Heather claims to know it all. Does that include the judge's poisoning? Let's ask her.
Okay. I expected to talk to Donnie, but
Hey, what do you need?
I will follow your...
Let's invite him back.
What's your real relationship with Donnie Bronson?
My real relationship? He's really my attorney. And you have no right to pry into confidential attorney-client conversations.
He's been your only visitor, and you've reportedly been affectionate. Did Donnie tell you the judge wasn't killed with a gun?
Oh, so you finally know. You admit that I knew what I was talking about. I knew the cause of death, and I know the killer. Want to make a deal?
What kind of deal were you making with Donnie Bronson?
Hey, one way or another, I want a reduced prison sentence. Temp insanity, baby. A brief sojourn at the Laughing Academy, and I'm back on the Miami social scene. On the other hand, you guys arrange a commuted sentence. Immunity? Now that would be sweet.
Or we could just tell Donnie you traded him in on a shiny new reduced sentence.
No way. You deal with me. I'm your best shot. And anyway, Donnie won't talk to you people. He's crazy about me. I got him wrapped around my little... Look, he loves me. He can't talk to you. He just can't.
He won't have to. You just said it all.
Do you ever keep guns at your home?
You'll have to make up your own mind on that one, 'cause you won't get it out of me.
Maybe it's time to ask Miss Cole why she keeps a handgun in such a strange place.
Yeah.
Whoa. First of all, I don't keep a gun of any kind in my house. And second, and this is the only free clue I'm going to hand you hopeless idiots, the judge wasn't murdered with a gun. Go away and learn to be detectives. Take a course online or something.
Okay.
That should do it for now.
I think we managed to ask the questions in the wrong order, and so things didn't quite make sense. Now, can we get a warrant for Donnie Bronson?
Donnie's prints all over the study. Toxic levels of the judge's prescribed meds in his bloodstream. Lewis denies being with Donnie at the country club. And now lovely Heather slips up and implicates Donnie as the murderer. Quite a bow you tied around this warrant.
Did Heather help you kill Judge Lawford?
You people. Just one fishing expedition after another. Of course Heather didn't help me. How could she help me do something I didn't do?
How did Heather know that Judge Wilson wasn't killed with a gun?
What did she tell you? If she said I poisoned him, well... I've said too much.
So how did she know he was poisoned?
Look, you've got to understand. This is not an attorney-client situation anymore. I'm leveling with you. That crazy witch has been pulling out all the stops, throwing herself at me, promising me every kind of... Well, let's just say she hated the judge and was willing to do anything to get me to... Yes, to kill him. She thought poisoning would be the easiest, safest route.
And why does she hate Judge Lawford?
I can't say whether it's true or not. Maybe she really is insane, deluded. But Heather sincerely believes Judge Lawford played her, manipulated her into killing her husband. And the judge, retired or not, was powerful. There were strings he could still pull to keep her inside and miserable.
Judge got around. Knew Heather, Ron, Troy, Denise. How about you, Donnie?
Heather and all the rest of them. They're all my clients. They all had good reason to hate that evil spider.
Could the judge have been manipulating them?
I don't believe anything I'm about to tell you violates my duty to my clients. But I will tell you right now that every single one of them told me about the judge's involvement in their individual actions. How he encouraged them, fed them information about whoever it was in their lives they were contemplating killing. Whether his honor could have been legally, literally taken in for conspiracy... Well, let's just say that he was a master manipulator, and no one in this town knew the ins and outs of the law better than Judge Walter Lawford. As for me, the judge had information that would ruin my career. I could be disbarred. I went to the judge's house that evening to try to convince him not to publish his manuscript, not without removing these slurs against my clients and myself. Only they weren't slurs. They were the bitter truths. You have to believe me. Despite it all, I had nothing to do with Judge Lawford's murder.
The judge was a consummate game player, Donnie. Witness his mind games with you and your 4 clients, each of whom he steered into committing murder. But you got the honor of his endgame. Lawford asked you to hand him his meds, requested you turn on his printer. Then when you left, he burned some key effects, spiked his own drink with an overdose, leaving you framed for murder.
You may not think much of my ethics, but I'm telling you, even though it helps me, you can't search the homes of my clients without going through proper legal channels.
What?
Nothing else right now.
What? Oh. It didn't even say, just, yep. Yep. Ooh. Transition sequence.
Just the way we left it. We processed this place. No way we could miss a mucus-smeared tissue. Somebody is playing games. Nothing here but us.
Oh, it's just past the carpet. Is that it here? It is. Just a tissue. Oh, and we have a glass. Take that.
Hard liquor. Scotch.
And that's everything from there.
Yes?
Take that.
Cromartie Scotch. 30-year-old fine single malt Scotch whiskey.
And the tissue.
DNA's amplified and graphed. What are you waiting for? Computer's got it.
Oh wait, is the fingerprint separate? That's what I wanted.
Print's been scanned. It's on the computer.
Right. Judge.
Great. We've got a positive match here.
And the DNA. I'm betting it's the judge as well.
About time for some straight answers from Troy Sullivan and Denise Diamond.
So let's talk to them again.
Can I help you out in this case?
Denise.
Yeah, let's have another chat with him.
Did the judge help you get into this mess?
I don't see how. All he did was talk about old cases and various unsolved crimes. Actually, I got any number of ideas from those discussions. Old Coot was a fascinating fount of nasty knowledge. But the ideas I got, well, they were my own, of course. He had no idea he was influencing me.
Yeah, you were played. Have you received any strange letters recently?
Funny you should ask that. I mean, I just got the oddest piece of nonsensical mail today.
Mind if we take a look at it?
Knock yourself out.
It's going to be another bit for the roulette wheel. And let's talk to the other guy.
Let's invite him back.
Did the judge trick you into killing?
I resent that implication. The judge may have had his own motivation for encouraging my actions, and I admit he provided me with a motive to kill. After which I did kill. But I'm not some child who can be tricked into performing. I made the decision to murder. Don't give that old fool the credit.
Have you received any unmarked mail?
I've received hundreds of letters from my supporters, but yes, one didn't have proper markings, return address, and so on. Had just some stupid 3-word note in it. Meaningless.
Can we see it?
Take it. I'm only saving the ones that appeal to me. The marriage proposals from women under 30, for example.
Of course you are.
That should do it for now.
Yep. And so we've got red 30, black 17, red 18, and black 11. So let's go back to the house. Documents. So, red 30. Black 17. Red 18. Red 18. Or was it black 11? Black 11.
Okay. Our judge was a game player. Logical, organized, attuned to the sequence of events. Let's consider the puzzle in that light.
So I have to do it in the same order that they killed it in. I can't remember which order they killed in. It was Heather first, wasn't it? That's what, 30... $17... Black 11... And what's the last one? Red 18.
Hear that? That click? Let's take a look.
What clicked? Oh, how did I miss that?
Secret compartment.
Oh.
Have we seen this cleat before? Take it in for analysis.
We have. Oh, we got another jigsaw puzzle.
Torn paper. Photo or drawing, maybe.
So we did have a weird image that we sort of sampled loads of times and didn't find anything.
What's up?
We've got some torn paper.
Torn up photo? Sounds like a job for the assembly table. It's all yours.
And the shoe.
Can't come up with anything else to do on that.
No, we need to use the tools collection. Squirty stuff, that one.
Not that. Try another. Doesn't apply here.
Oh,
try a similar tool. Blood and DNA. Always helpful.
Now we want to take... Okay. I swear we want to do that, but maybe they want us to do it later. Take the
DNA
blood.
scanned and waiting in the computer for you.
Alright, let's get this jigsaw puzzle over and done with. And it looks like it's our good friend William Shakespeare. That should make things hopefully a bit quicker. You have an idea of what it looks like? I think we need another bit before it all connect that in. There we go. They like their jigsaw puzzles in this, don't they? Goes there. That goes at the bottom. That goes the other side. Yeah, nope. Missing down a bit. go. Making decent progress for once. Oh, there we go. Let's go there. 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 There, and that tiniest sliver, there we go.
My tongue will tell the anger of mine heart, or else my heart, concealing it, will break. Cryptic words from the Taming of the Shrew. But what if we take them literally?
Well, let's take a look at this blood that we got. Let's search it. Doesn't jump out at me as one we've seen, but I could be wrong. Different. Ooh, that's looking similar.
Finally, we found a murder weapon from the fake nightclub killing.
Why did the judge have it, eh? Why did the judge have it? Oh, I think we're going to go back here, look at the statue.
Normally, we respect personal property, but evidence collection can be like making an omelet. Eggs must be broken, or in this case, just pried open.
Oh, and we have a videotape.
I have a feeling the judge wants to talk to us.
And I bet you that's the videotape from the boat killing.
Hey,
Take it.
a videotape. I'm pretty sure I can process that for you. A very tricky procedure. Everyone ready for this?
If you're watching this video, you have won the game, and I applaud. So rarely have I been matched by worthy opposition. Oh, of course, a casino can beat you. The odds are always with the house. But a truly challenging game, nothing is more satisfying. And this game, oh, this game, it's more than just satisfying. It's meaningful. Over the years, I have witnessed the justice system grow soft. Criminals pampered, victims at the mercy of shysters like Donnie Bronson. Bronson represents to me everything that is wrong with our legal system. A smooth, high-paid mouthpiece whose glibness can free even the most blatantly guilty client. In recent years, I watched as a number of obvious murderers slipped through the system here in Miami. When I learned from doctors of my own personal death sentence, I decided to spend my final months dealing out justice where our courts had not. I invited 4 of Bronson's clients to become members of the Palm Glen Club, where I could befriend them and give them an opportunity either to prove their innocence by resisting my subtle suggestions, my maneuvering them toward murder as a solution to their current problems, or to resist the devil's whispers. None of them resisted. And I made certain their victims were themselves criminal or in some way evil sinners. And of course, now Bronson's 4 clients face punishment. Well deserved. Though, I fear, if you played my game and won, Donnie Bronson will not join them. Although when my book is eventually published, as it will be, when in several months a duplicate of the computer disk turns up at my publisher, Donnie B. will be disgraced and likely disbarred. And now, I must carry out one last sentence on myself. For I, too, am, in my modest way, a criminal mastermind. And as Horatio Kane has no doubt reminded you, I've always believed in capital punishment. Cheers.
Takes a top CSI to match wits with the likes of Judge Lawford, and you did. As the judge said himself, you've won. Congratulations.
Which roulette wheel switch was not part of the puzzle? Like 29, I think. Yep. And, yeah. Just as suddenly as that, we have completed this case, and as usual, we have the end of level questions. And it was the judge all along. It was palm tree. Yeah. How long has the judge been dead when found? Oh. 14 hours? Oh, that was a bit of a guess, but... Which caliber? It was 9mm. And what's our last question? What was the chemical substance behind oxycodone hydrochloride? Oh yes! This is another master. Mastered it all. And there we go. Each one completed with rank of master. With extras for all of them. And an extra bonus. Which gives us test renderings and more test renderings. And yeah, that guy's never moved into his desk, has he? So, I guess there we have it. CSI Miami finally completed. I hope you enjoyed it as much as you can enjoy what is a very ropey game, sort of held together with string, glue, a bit of duct tape, and a lot of word and jigsaw puzzles. So I will leave you with the various extras. And, yeah. And until next time, and there should hopefully be a next time, because I have plenty of terrible TV and sort of licensed games to play, and to hopefully for you to enjoy. I've been the GouldFish, and this was GouldFish Plays. So enjoy the videos and the extras. Goodbye.